Good afternoon. Chris Wallace here, advisor to man and sometimes teacher and trainer to those willing to learn. Bringing you another message of power and love in service of meaning and freedom. If I could have just a wee moment of your time, I'd like to share something you'll appreciate. It's about a saying, this one in particular. She's not yours, it's just your turn. It's a saying I read often online. And this little mantra is supposed to allow you to detach emotionally from any woman. It's a pinprick to the mythical balloon of her being the one. It's for you men who toss and turn at night, thinking about some other dude with his hands all over your gal. One fella said recently that the saying reminded men to abandon their entitlement to women's bodies. Huh? I can only assume he's not referring to himself, or else he would have called himself out more specifically instead of going with a brave statement about men in general like that. Sheesh. I've never met a man who felt entitled to another person's body, unless they were extremely immature or perhaps psychopathic or pedophilic. It takes a real mental gymnastics as an adult to think that you have a right to someone else's physical being. In any case, let's tell the truth here. This little get out of jealousy jail free card found in this quaint little red pill saying is just another way to escape your responsibility to step up and be a powerful man. And instead, for you to remain a victim by underhandedly calling her a slut. It's giving in to the fucker while you fucking is good and then let her go. It's more game. It's love them and leave them. In other words, use her while you can and discard her when the time comes. It's a way to throw up your hands and abdicate your God-given duty to use your power in service of yourself and others to gain freedom and meaning. To my mind, it's as useless as tits on a nun. Or wait a minute. That doesn't really work because the truth is women become nuns so they can hit on priests, right? Okay, now I get it. Fact is, our need to belong to each other is our greatest need. We need to belong and be accepted by each other or it just doesn't work. It's how we are made. Ostracism is the real scourge of mankind, I keep telling people. We don't say the family I was brought up by, we say my family. We don't say the children wifey and I produced. We say my children or our children in that case. We also call friends my friends, coworkers my coworkers. And if you are doing things right, you call your gal my woman. You possess her just like she possesses you. Want to know what the nicest words I ever heard were? I dated Mrs. for about a year. And despite a significant age difference between us, she got a little worried about that and we split up for about a week. We lived in a house with several other people. And one day I realized after 4, 5, 6 days, we were alone. And I happened to take her in my room when there was no one home. And afterwards I got up and I taunted her, telling her, "See, you can't live without that girl looking at me. You might be an old man, but you're my old man." I'd never heard so sweet a thing said to me. I belonged to someone. I was hers. She was claiming me. It's been 15 years. We have 2 children, now 8 and 10. The boy turns 8 tomorrow. I asked her about us recently. She smiled and she said, "Well, we're stuck with each other now." Stuck with each other. Men are the poets. I don't need anything more than that. Being stuck. 1995, researchers doing a meta-analysis of attachment studies changed their view of the world when they realized the need to belong operated in every corner of a person's psyche, in all manner of their behavior. They said there is evidence the whole emotion system is geared to make you connect with others. The whole system. The need to belong is behind most human activity, driving both thinking and feeling. More belongingness brings positive emotion, while less brings negative emotion. Just ponder that for a moment. My humble opinion, I suspect it goes further. I have the feeling that standing on top of a building or a high cliff and looking down, what scares us is not that we might fall and die on the rocks or the pavement below. After all, we don't have that experience to go on. No, it's the prospect of being separated from the people you belong to that instills fear in our hearts. It's the idea of losing our place among our tribe that makes us back away from the ledge. Look at what happens when people have near-death experiences. They are interviewed afterwards, and they often say that their lives flashed before their eyes, that invariably they thought of the people that they loved. And what hurt most, what filled them with their deepest dread was the prospect of never seeing their parents or their friends or their wives or their children again. That, my friends, is what fear is. So make no mistake, we are supposed to belong to each other. Telling yourself it's just your turn with your gal is giving up at the start. It's saying that one day she will leave and you might as well accept it now. Well, with that kind of attitude, what are your odds of success? Oh, sure, don't assume more if it's not there. Don't be a needy little bitch. Obviously, necessity drives the reciprocity of our interdependence after all. But if you're going to make a go of it in life with somebody, you owe it to yourself and to them to go all in, to do the things that keep couples together. Do that to answer the two great questions of attachment. Are you there? Are you with me? Are you there? The first one, that's the feminine need for presence. Both sexes need this question answered with a yes. It's why long distance relationships are more challenging. No presence. It's why coming home and burying your face in a screen or a newspaper and ignoring your partner makes them feel invisible. No presence. It's why you must let her know you have heard her by looking her in the eyes and paraphrasing if needed. And that allows you to connect. And connection is everything. The second question, are you with me? I view this one as more of a masculine question. Those both sexes need this answered affirmatively as well. It speaks to loyalty, this one. Are you with me? Do you have my back? Are we on the same side? Are we a fucking team? She needs your power and your presence, and you need hers. You need her loyalty as she needs yours. We are made to attach to each other, complementary. And adopting a here today, gone tomorrow mentality might seem to protect you in the moment from the ups and downs of the vagaries of life, but is wholly against how nature made us. It's giving in to the globalist notion of being a world citizen as just a consumer, that everything has a price on it. It's planned obsolescence, like a fucking Bic lighter. It runs out, get another one. When this runs out or breaks down, order up a new this, order up a new that. I call bullshit to this childish and cold view of human beings. Very few get to the end of their lives and wish for more sexual partners. To a person, at the end of life, people wish that they loved the people in their lives more while they still had the chance. That's what counts. Connection. So gentlemen, use your power and love wisely to find meaning and freedom. Viktor Frankl taught us that we find meaning in our deeds, our relationships, and by overcoming obstacles. So sometimes that means problem solving the obstacles in our relationships to connect more. Other times it's performing deeds to let our partners know that we are there for them, that we care. These add up to learning how to make a difference for each other. So gentlemen, instead of borrowing some stupid saying you read somewhere on an internet forum that's usually full of disaffected pretend philosophers who don't know their ass from a hole in the ground when it comes to human psychology. Instead of doing that, stand the fuck up and take a stance. Claim an identity of your own. Tell yourself, I'm not the type to buy into trite little internet escapes, and I prefer to put love first. Have the courage to do that. Have that kind of bravery. In fact, insist on it and have the courage to encourage it in those around you. It falls to men to lead with love and power in service of those around them. Watch my video, Caregivers and Sages, to understand more. do all of this. Do it to win a victory for mankind by putting Team Human first. Thank you for listening. Once again, Chris Wallace here. You can find me at advisortomen.com. You may even want to join the board of directors masterminds to stand with other men in mutual support of each other's quest to live better lives. I'll leave a link in the description. If this little pep talk helps you, consider subscribing and maybe even leave a comment. Until next time, stay powerful, true, and free.